up, everybody? How's it going? Welcome back to Cloak and Stagger. I'm Moose. I'll be your DM tonight. We're continuing our Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden campaign. I don't know why I did this, but I did it, and I won't apologize for it. So everybody else can just dry up. All right? How about that? Thanks for joining us. It was like that, or something like that. So anyways, hope everybody's having a great day, having a great week, staying away from drama and everything. Thanks for being here. We're joined, as always, by our lovely group of adventurers. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Fantastic. Avoiding the champagne.
You're avoiding the champagne this week? Not me. Whiskey is what's on the menu tonight. Nice. So, you know what? We're gonna try something. We're gonna try something here. We're gonna try something that we do on Monday nights, and we'll start here with Wilzu. We're just gonna go down the line here because I like this. Let's see how everybody's doing. How's everybody's character doing? So, Mr. Wilzu Snapplegap, how are you feeling about everything? Where's your head at right now?
I've been stuck in this shithole for half a year. I've been looking for comrades for longer than that. I have just started my own personal party. I am beyond stoked about whatever lies ahead.
Hell yeah. All right, well, let's see. Who we got next here? What about Mr. Sandy? Sandy Ravage. How's Sandy doing?
Sandy's doing well. He's getting an itch, and that itch is to wrestle. And next person that kind of bumps up on him, he might just have to throw down.
All right. Aramil, how are you feeling? Where's your character's heads at?
Is good.
Okay. Short and sweet. And what about Sucinda? How you doing?
Darling, I'm feeling quite all right, to be honest. Yes, it's everything seems to be going great. You know, minus the guy with the dagger in his chest. But besides that, it's good. It's good.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do a quick recap real quick from last week. So just as a very quick catch up, since this is our second episode, so there's not much really to go through. So you guys all met each other in the tavern. The little gnome Wilzu Snapplegap has somehow corralled you all together in search of adventure and I don't know, what would you say? Power and adventure, Mr. Wilzu?
Power, absolutely power, to overcome some very specific adversaries.
There you go. And you had been tasked with a couple of things. Wilzu, since you had been working at the Northlook tavern, you had been tasked, your final task before he would before the tavern keep, the owner, Scramsax, would let you off the hook, was to go to Belron's Glassworks, Bell's Glassworks, to pick up an order of mugs and glasses that he had ordered a couple days ago. And Sucinda, aka Sin, you were tasked by Danica Eagledane to track down a magical creature called a Chwinga, and she had given you a little lantern to help find them. You stopped by Bell's. He said he was going to fast track the order of glasses for you, and you managed to track down some Chwingas who were hiding in some bushes. Sandy decided to just jump in to the bushes, just no caution. It's to the wind. We're going in. And he made a new friend. He made a little Chwinga friend, and it got in his hair and kind of just hid there. And on your way back to take it to Danica so she could study it, you came across the town square where they were holding the lottery, which the rumor was that Ven Eagledane was supposedly going to be the one to be sacrificed, but somebody else was. So that was strange, but hey, no harm, no foul. As gruesome as the sacrifice was, watching somebody being burned at the stake, the speaker and the sheriff kind of taking the front stage for that. You made your way back to Danica's house, at which point you saw the door kicked in. And when you went in, you saw a man on the floor with a dagger made of ice stabbed into his heart. And shortly thereafter, you found Danica hiding in a closet, who told you that somebody basically broke into the house, and just in time, she was able to hide in the closet because her dad, Ven, told her to go hide. There was some back and forth, somebody in a low voice saying that he could not cheat death. He was not going to cheat Auril out of her sacrifice, and it wasn't his decision to determine who lives and who dies, and that fate had decided that for him. And there was a brief scuffle, and then silence. And that's when, shortly after, you guys came up. And after talking with her and calming her down, you gave the chewinga to her, who seemed to kind of calm everybody's nerves a little bit with some sort of spell. But she was able to tell you that the only thing out of the ordinary that her father had been doing was visiting Bell's Glassworks frequently to have custom lures made for his fishing rod. So after finishing the discussion, you decided to head back to the inn where you had, when you were in the town square, met some dwarves who said they needed your help and would meet you at the inn. So as we start now, you are leaving Danica's house, and you guys can tell me where you'd like to go from there. Also, Mr. Whiskey, good to see you.
So we're heading right to that inn. The moment we left that house, we got a goal in mind.
Okay, so you're heading back to the Northlook?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go ahead and pull on over here and make sure y'all are good. Yep, that looks good. Alrighty, so you find yourself back at the front door of the Northlook Inn. And looking in, you can hear the low murmur of people talking, some of whom laughing, the average sounds that you would hear in any kind of busy tavern. But you all should be able to see and have control of your characters now, so do what you will.
Okay, one last time in here, right? Let's do this. I kind of take a few and put on my smiley face back inside this place.
You're off the clock, right?
Well, yes. I just, I did not want to come back here so soon.
Well, you had to come back here and tell him about the glasses, didn't you?
Oh, yes, but
You knew that leaving.
We have more business than that to do here. So, in fact, you know what? Let me knock that out. Oh, there's those dwarves right there. I'm gonna walk past them and give them a wave. One moment, you lot.
They all just sort of look at you. They look a lot more grim than what you probably had expected. We'll get into more of that later. But the leader, Runa, sees you and just nods as you walk past.
And I'm gonna go take care of my business at the counter real quick and tell Scramsax about the glass stuff.
So Scramsax leans across and says, I see you've come back and, no glasses, no mugs.
You would be correct. There are no glasses and no mugs. And
You had one job. One last job, Wilzu. That's all I asked.
No, Scramsax, listen. And I'm gonna lean in close to the counter and I'll say listen 2 more times. They were going to be ready for weeks, maybe months. However, thanks to one of my new friends here, and I'm pointing over at Sin that's behind me, we were able to convince him of the importance of your glasses to where you'll receive them in the next few days.
He sort of looks He like raises his head and looks down his nose at you and says, "All right, fine. You're off the hook. But as long as you ain't working here, no more free room and board. You gotta pay."
Understandable.
And he nods, and then he sort of walks off back to this patron who's sitting at the end of the bar and pours an ale for him.
I'm gonna do a 180 in my chair and kind of look at my friends, and I'm assuming everyone's right behind me mostly.
I'm
Yes.
sitting beside you. Yeah.
So, those dwarves look pretty depressing. Anyone else notice that?
They look quite dreadful.
Right.
Dwarves always look sullen.
Well, that's not nice, Aramil.
I've seen a few ratty dwarves before. They're not all that word you used.
Ratty?
I wouldn't. You know, I'm not. No, Aramil, no. Let's off topic. Regardless. Any volunteers to anyone? I'm gonna be honest. I may seem like it, but truly, I'm not. I don't find myself very charismatic. You know.
Yes, of course you are. Don't say that about yourself.
Well,
Hang on though, real quick. Sir, hello. People down here too want to order. Sir.
Scramsax like kind of glares over at you, and he seems to give kind of a wait a minute finger to the gentleman sitting at the bar, and he walks over to you.
That was coming to us.
Darling Scramsax, may I please have a large ale, as well as, do you have like a cheese and meat platter?
Cheese and meats? What do you think this place is?
A fine establishment, of course.
He turns around to the to the open door behind him that leads to the kitchen. You hear him say, "Benjamin, we got any cheese and meat platters?" And then you just hear from the kitchen,
Well,
"I got you cheese and meats." And he walks back, and Scramsax looks back to you and says, "Your cheese and meat platter it'll be out shortly. In the meantime, let me get you an ale."
I've already.
Thank you.
Aramil has one.
He
Sam,
looks.
you should just-
Where'd you
Never
get that?
mind.
We're clearly in a fine dining establishment.
Will do, I'm hungry and I'm a bit parched.
He's not gonna bring a You know, it's okay. It's all right. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
You
So
are quite distressed.
he pours an ale and sets it on the bar top in front of you and says, "That'll be a silver."
Okay, do you have a tab here I can create, or is this just,
Everybody
Okay.
always asking about a tab. As long as you pay it before you walk out of those doors.
Okay, will do, sir. Thank you. I'll expect my platter whenever.
I do this to Sim, like.
Well, I guess it'll be me then.
And dogs are allowed in here too.
I'm gonna go have words with those dwarves, and we're gonna see what they need, because it's probably something bad.
Quite.
I'm walking on over.
Hello, friends. And I'll sit up next to him.
Here, I'll kind of organize you guys. There you go. Kind of organize you guys around the table there. So as you approach, they look to you. You see Hiruna nod at you. And the other two nod as well. She says, "I thank you for coming to see us. We could really use the help."
We are definitely willing to help, and potentially reap any rewards from thus.
She reaches out, and at this point, most of them have, their hoods taken down, their gloves off, and everything. You see Haruna it looks like she's lost 2 fingers and her right ear to frostbite. There's just kind of black, scabby skin where that was left over. And she looks to her 2 companions and says, "Hi, again, this is Corax and Storn." And looking at them, Corax just sort of nods, doesn't really seem to be too talkative. You can see that he's lost 2 fingers on one hand and another on the other, and he has actually no nose as well, seemingly lost to frostbite. And Storn, he actually looks like the least battered of the bunch, but you see him just kind of occasionally looking around, but actually looking more up at the ceiling throughout your conversation.
DM,
Yes.
did somebody really donate money, or is that a bot?
Oh, that's probably a bot.
That's 100% a bot.
Oh,
How do you spell Haruna?
Hruna. Beals and Fitton. Thank you for the $500,000. We appreciate it.
Oh shit, we're rich.
I'm gonna donate too real quick. Oh shit.
How do we split?
He's
this?
been one up. Can anybody? Do I see 1,000,001?
Yeah, I do see it. Your real followers then.
Yeah, throughout the conversation, you see Storm just kind of looking up around the ceiling, and Haruna leans in and says, "Well, I'll get right to the point." She downs her ale that's left, and about this time, Sen, you see Benjamin walk out of the back with a plate, and he approaches the table and sets down the plate there, and on it there's just what looks like this roasted, it's almost like an oversized chicken foot with 3 toes. It doesn't smell too bad, actually, but far from the cheese and meat platter that you'd asked for. He says, "Your cheese and meat platter, here you go."
Darling, I think you're mistaken. This is not sure what this is exactly.
It's Axebeak foot.
Is
Appar-
that edible?
He looks over at you, Wilzu. Wilzu, is it edible?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is edible. Yes.
I missed the part where mockery was on the menu.
Benjamin just turns and walks off. Cheese and meat platter. And he disappears back into the kitchen.
They're getting a 1-star Yelp review.
Hey, Rimo, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
I'm gonna get on it right now.
So Haruna leans in towards you, Wilzu, and sort of holds out her hands a little bit, and you can see really that her 2 missing fingers. It's kind of gross. And she says, I'll get right to the point. We're the survivors of a group of dwarves tasked with delivering a sled of iron ingots back to Brinchander. We were attacked, surprised even by a yeti. Killed a member of our group, and the rest of us fled as the yeti tore poor Ubak limb from limb. Now, she kind of looks down and looks back up. We need someone or a group of people to go back and get the sled and the ingots. As payment, we will offer each of you a gemstone worth 50 gold pieces. And you would have the friendship of the Dwarves of Icewind Dale. That can also be a boon in times like these.
About how
What was that, Aramil? I didn't hear you. What?
Oh, sorry. They're just learning. This is new. Anyways, how far away is this caravan?
She says, my guess everything happened so fast. About 3 miles northeast of here towards Kelvin's Cairn. And Wilzu, actually, the whole lot of you would know, Kelvin's Cairn is the large mountain that sort of towers over 10 towns over to the northeast of Bryn Shander. Here, I'll pull it up on the map for you. One second. There he goes. So it's right here. And she says it's about halfway to the base of Kelvin's Cairn. I'll draw this here. So from Bryn Shander to about halfway, it's about 3 miles. Which you know would take about with just your regular walking speed and going partially through tundra, would take about 6 hours one way. And she points out pretty much where I pinged on the map where the sled more than likely is.
Well, this sounds like quite the dangerous adventure.
She says, it could be, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not. And I turn to look at my party, and my face I'm looking at her like, I'm kidding. And when I look at them, I'm like, I suppose we could do this for you. Yes, we could do this for them, right?
Would we know a place in town that we could redeem this gem for gold?
Yes, I'd say in a town this size, there's quite a few places. The most notable
specifics. We would.
Yeah, the most notable place would be the Black Iron Blades. It's it's the biggest shop in town in terms of inventory that they carry. You know that it is run by a pair of dwarves, actually, but they sell both weapons and adventuring gear. So you figured you could probably redeem that there.
I used to wrestle yetis for fun when I was young.
She looks to you and says, "Hi, did ya? I mean, you're pretty big, so I can't say I don't believe you, but it literally ripped Ubok's head from his body."
Must been a little weakling.
Oh,
Mr. Savage, a little lower on the.
I mean,
You're right. A dwarf weakling. Little.
She sort of looks down, and you see Korux sort of tightly grip his mug and slam it down on the ground or on the table and say, "I'll not be hearing this. Not after what happened to Ubok."
I fully stand up. Is there something you would like to
Oh, you want
do
to go?
about this?
You're gonna stand up! And he stands up, no nose, missing multiple fingers. And Haruna sort of puts her hand on his chest. Korux, sit down. They might be the only ones that can help us. And she looks to you, Wilzu, and says, "Is your friend always so polite?"
He is a championship world-known wrestler. He's an aggressive type. This is normal.
Honestly, I just met them earlier today, so maybe I don't know.
It's our first day.
You see a look of kind of worry fall across her face.
But don't worry, the Was is here to save you.
The Was?
Yes, ask them about it.
She looks to you, Wilzu.
Oh, WAS is our team name. That's since we're an official adventuring group, we identify as the WAS.
And what is a WAS?
Well, a WAS is a Wilzu, Aramel, Sandy, and Susan. Or,
Yes, my name is Sucinda. Thank you. Susan. Did you have a Susan before me?
I
No,
see.
Maybe.
She says, well, Can you help us or not?
Question. No, hang on. Question.
You see her get happy for like a second, and then. Aye.
You said that we have was it a sled to collect for you?
Aye.
Will we require like a some type of creature to pull the sled for us? Is it heavy?
Good question.
Before we just we'll do it, and then we go to the sled and it's like a limousine, and it's just massive, and we can't do anything with the bloody sled once we've got it.
I point up to Sandy.
She says, well, considering there were 4 of us pulling it, no problem, and you have a mountain of a man there, I don't see it being much problem, but I mean, if you've got the coin, you can always buy an axe beak or some sled dogs to pull it, but it depends on how much you got in your pockets.
Well, I was just wondering. Thank you. I was just, wanting to make sure I got all the information.
I don't think you
How
have a
long-
problem pulling it.
Okay.
How long will you be here? Where would we meet you?
We can wait here and stay at the inn for, well, I suppose it's fair to say we could wait 2 days. And if we haven't seen you by then, we'll assume you're dead.
Lovely.
I audibly laugh. Not see us. You'll die here before we die out there.
To be fair, that is not a threat.
She says, aye. Well, do we have a deal?
Yes, we do.
And she reaches across the table with her hand missing fingers and goes for a handshake.
Oh, I'll reach right up and give it an odd, awkward shake. Kind of like I thought we were gonna do one of those, like, back and forth or something.
She has an extremely firm grip on your hand when she shakes it. It says,
Okay.
we'll be here, waiting.
And I suppose actually, we won't be off quite yet. We have to go. We have to go report a murder. That's right. We gotta report a murder real quick.
Report a murder.
Apparently, did you hear the rumor about the icy dagger in that guy's chest? I forget, it was a few weeks back, maybe months. I'm not sure. It was a while ago.
Hour?
I've heard some people talking about it in the tavern, but we're not from here, so no, we have not heard of this.
Oh. Well, I guess
Nothing to worry, but there's
Should-
a murderer going around and stabbing people in their chests.
We're also not from here.
She sort of sits back in her chair and looks over and gets Cramsack's attention and says, "Hi, I'll have another ale."
Right. Well, we're not gonna bore you with that stuff. You have your drink, and we're gonna go get to
Yes.
business.
Also, I
Was
love
the rest
Doggo
of
in the
it?
background. Doggo in the background.
She looks
like-
like a baked potato.
She does look like a
make-
baked potato
I make this motion to
towards everybody
Oh,
else.
I'm following.
Should we go ahead and book a night?
A night? What do you mean?
In this an inn? We can sleep here.
No,
Or is this just a tavern?
I think you could.
You used to
yeah.
work here.
I don't remember. Can we book?
Yeah, there's
there's
plenty of
room.
rooms here. Yeah, you know
Yes,
that
there are.
there's rooms that range anywhere from just a kind of hole in the wall, tiny room, all the way to like a master suite.
Do I have a master suite somewhere?
We don't have any rooms, do we?
I live here. Do I have a
time is
master
it?
suite somewhere?
You don't have a master suite
Oh,
somewhere.
okay.
What time is it right now?
It is 7 p.m.
Oh shit. Well,
So we should report the murder, and then we should set out first thing tomorrow, right?
Yeah, do we have to stay here? Can we just stay outside or something?
In the cold?
I mean, if I was weighing my options, that would come close to being better.
You can stay in the cold.
Let's just go report the murder thing to the sheriff real quick, and we'll come back.
I would
We
like to
could-
try a piece of my foot that is in front of me.
I assume, well, you walked away from the table, so I assume you just had the foot in your hand.
Okay, yeah, we can assume that. With
Okay.
my ale.
Tastes like chicken.
Oh, perfect. I eat the whole thing. I mean, no bones, obviously, but
Make a perception check.
okay.
Oh boy.
Perfect. I see nothing.
There it is. Okay. So you don't notice anything, but after a few moments, you hear a and you turn around and Scramsax is standing there looking at you, about to walk toward the door.
I'm standing
It
by
says,
the fireplace. What do you want?
I'm closer to the fireplace than you are. And looks over at you, Wilzu. You planning on heading out?
In a bit.
Yeah, but we'll be back for the evening, probably to rent some of your fine rooms that you have here.
He looks back to you. You weren't planning on leaving without paying.
Obviously not. Have I left yet?
Only because we're talking.
And I'm eating. Do you not see me eating?
Looks
I
like
know
you're
how this always
talking
ends
right
up.
now.
And I'm
Well,
gonna
because
walk
you're
outside.
talking to me. If I could finish my meal and my ale.
You buying anything else before you leave?
Oh,
Well, I was planning on getting a room.
Sandy, have you ever owned an inn before?
No, but I've been to plenty.
It'll be 5 silver before you leave. And he turns around and walks.
Does that include the room?
No!
You're just not very polite. How much is the room then?
Depends on what room you want, as he's hollering back.
Well, what are my options?
Can we not yell across the tavern? Thank you.
They're getting
right
along
here.
quite nice in there.
He says, basic room, 5 silver. You want a suite, 25 silver. You want a master suite, that's gonna be 5 gold. And if
5
you
gold?
want the royal suite, that's 25 gold.
I mean, what exactly does the royal suite get for you?
You get a whole floor to yourself. And points
Well,
upstairs.
That's quite a bit. I definitely don't need that. What would you, You said there's a 1 silver, a 5 silver. What's the 5 silver get me?
5 silver gets you a big bed, a desk, and a chair. More room to stretch out.
Perfect, I'll take that one.
And
So,
he reaches
uh,
out his hand.
10 silver total then, I imagine?
Well, it's it's 5 silver for the basic room, 15 silver for the better room. So it would be 20 silver total if you're wanting the better room.
Oh, 20 silver it is then. Here you go, sir.
He says, hi, and he reaches down, he's got a big key ring. He kind of shuffles through it and hands you a key. And he says, he points up to this door at the northwest side of the tavern up here. He says, you go through that door all the way to the end of the hall, and then it's gonna make you take a left. It's the last door on your left.
Last door on my left. Last door on my left. Question for you. How many silvers are in 1 gold?
10.
So I spent 2 gold?
Yes.
What a ripoff. Okay.
Sandy, have you ever fought in a steel cage?
Plenty. They're one of my favorite wrestling matches.
Thank you, darling. I'll be back later.
Do you think I need to go in there and check on her? She's been in there for quite a while.
If we give her long enough, she may own the place. Guess that would be something, right? Steady income.
Hello.
Oh,
Sin,
Yes.
all well, right?
Yeah, I just secured myself a room for later.
does she have any papers in her hand?
No. No papers.
All right, well, I guess we're off to see Sheriff South something. Sheriff South something.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
And do you know where to go?
yeah, I would say the lot of you actually would know where Town Hall is.
We do know where to go.
Yeah. Town Hall's actually not that far from Belron's place. So we heading to Town Hall?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You make your way through the streets, and as what's the last of the aurora in the sky begins to fade, and it is just pitch black outside with the exception of the torches and lanterns that are on the front of all of the buildings as you make your way down the street. The temperature has dropped tremendously even since the sacrifice, since the lottery, and the wind just sort of just whips at your face, and it takes you about probably 15-20 minutes to make your way through the streets, kind of winding through once you pass the town square, and you find yourself looking at a larger building with a couple of guards standing out front. Bring us here.
As we're approaching it, I want to kind of lean towards the group and say, "Okay, guys, remind me who that lady's father? What was his name? Do you remember the name?"
Well, the sheriff's name is Southwell.
No, not the sheriff. The guy with the ice dagger in his chest.
Well, it's important not to mess up his name.
Danica's father? I don't know.
Shit. Okay. Danica's father.
Hang on. Let's see. Maybe I can wreck my memory.
Ven
Did we get his
Eagledane.
name?
Ven Eagledane.
He was the one to be killed. At least the rumor said.
And with this knowledge now in my brain, I march up to one of the guards and give him kind of a confident nod as I walk past him.
He looks back down at you, and you can see both of these guards are just absolutely head to toe, just wrapped in the thickest, warmest coats. Their entire faces are covered, goggles on, and both of which have a sword on their hip and a shield on their back.
I'm gonna waltz right up to the town hall door and try to open her up.
Okay. It does open right up. And when you look inside, you see a woman. Well, first of all, you see a few guards standing around the room, and then there's a woman at a curved desk with a couple of candles on it that just looks up at you and says, "Can I help you?"
Yes, we have something urgent to report to Sheriff Southwell.
And what is the nature of your report?
Violence. Yes, violence. Bad violence.
Violence. And she leans over and looks at the book that's in front of her and starts flipping through the pages. And she says, "Sheriff Southwell is busy right now, but I can make sure that he gets your message."
Oh,
I look over at Wilzu. Wink. Darling, a murder has occurred!
You see the guards standing around the room all just sort of look over at you at the same time. And the woman sitting across from you, her eyes just go as wide as they possibly could. Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you not to yell in here.
I'm just quite a bit afraid, as you can imagine. Do you have somewhere I can sit? Where's the sheriff? I need to tell him everything.
We have a bench over there, and points over to the east side of the room, and a few chairs over there. And a few moments later, you see the doors immediately behind you, or behind her, the double doors open up, and you see the speaker, Duvessa Shane, walk out and say,
Who's that?
"What is the meaning of this? All of this yelling? Elizabeth, what's going on?" And the woman turns around and says, I'm sorry, speaker. These individuals just barged in and this woman just started shouting." She looks over at you, Sin, and says, "What can I help you with?"
Well, darling, I'm very glad that you asked. I would like to see Sheriff Southwell.
And might I ask, what is so important that you will speak with Sheriff Southwell that you come into town hall screaming?
Well, sir, what other than a murder?
A murder?
A murder.
Here.
A murder here, in the town.
Who's been murdered?
Well, as it would be, it was, what was his name?
Dan Eagledon.
Van Eagleman.
Van Eagledon.
Yes.
You don't even know who it was that was murdered.
Well, I just know her name was Danica and it was her father.
The fisherman.
Van Eagledon. Yes, the fisherman.
With an ice pick.
No,
Right.
an ice dagger.
Like a pick of ice.
An ice dagger straight in his chest.
You see her brow sort of furrow. Similar to the rumors of the murders from the other towns, from East Haven and Targos.
Indeed. It would appear to be so.
Yes, perhaps it is best you speak with Sheriff Southwell immediately.
That's what I was saying.
Elizabeth, please escort these people to the sheriff. And she says, be careful, especially after dark. It's as safe as it could be here in Bryn Shander, but Icewind Dale has not been a very good place the last couple of years. Be careful. And she turns around and seems to walk back in her office. And Elizabeth stands up and says, all right, you heard her. This way. She sort of starts to walk over towards the east side of the room.
Sin, your
And-
method blows my mind, but goddamn is it effective.
Yes, quite.
Sometimes they like the theatrics. You just have to put on a bit of a show.
You hear Elizabeth knock on the door, and then kind of glare back at you, almost like you've inconvenienced her evening. And you hear a low voice inside. Who is it? And she opens the door, leading into this room, and says, Sheriff Southwell, it's Elizabeth. We have visitors here for you. And Sheriff says, I've told you I don't need any more visitors tonight. And she says, it's about murder with a dagger of ice. He kind of stoically looks at her for a second and says, very well. And she sort of steps aside. And looking in the room, you see Sheriff Southwell standing behind his desk. As you enter.
I take a seat.
Just sitting on the bench.
Yeah, I'm doing kind of one of these numbers.
Okay. As you shuffle in, the sheriff looks back to Elizabeth and says, "You can leave us now." Elizabeth sort of glances at all of you and walks through the door and closes it. I'm not going to redraw the wall, but we'll pretend the door is closed. And so he's continued to stand and looks at all of you and says, "Well, you say you've come here to report a murder. Let's hear it."
Are you? Oh, okay. Okay.
Vane,
Anyway,
He-
I can say it if you don't want
He
to.
sits
Rosie. I
he
just
sits down in
assumed.
his chair and leans back.
So, okay. All right, so there has been a murder. Vin Eagledane, we found him dead in his home. We were going to visit his daughter to deliver a chewinga, but the man laid there with a dagger made of ice through his chest.
He looks concerned. And he says, that's troubling news indeed.
Oh, it gets worse when you want to hear more.
Tell me everything.
So, Danica survived by hiding in a nearby cupboard, I believe it was. Said she heard
Wardrobe.
footfalls. A wardrobe, yes, wardrobe. A single set of footfalls in the house, and apparently her father conversed with this figure very briefly in a panicky way, like a, "Who are you? What do you want?" And this figure mentioned, "You don't get to choose who lives and dies," referring to the lottery.
He
Said you
ponders
can't-
for a second.
He said you can't cheat death. And
He also said you
fate's-
can't cheat death.
And fate is already decided.
And Eremoth, you got a good memory. Hell.
I
And he
wrote it-
also said, no amount of money can change that.
I wrote it on my hand.
He says, "What you're bringing to me is a very strong allegation. You're inferring that the lottery is compromised. Correct?"
That was not mine.
It kind of seems like it.
He leans forward, and on his desk is a envelope, and he takes it and pulls it out and slides it towards you, Wilzu, and says, "This is the official lottery. This has been sealed until I opened it myself, and it is selected randomly, completely randomly, with different people every new moon." And looking at it, it sure enough has the name of the gentleman who was burned at the pyre, Hadron Grigg, is written on there. And he continues, "If someone has figured out how to subvert our system, there is going to be riots. And even more troubling than that, it seems like the cold-hearted killer has made its way to Bryn Shander." And he pulls out another book and sort of flips through the pages. "The other towns that there were supposedly murders, East Haven and Targos, they also do human sacrifices. We are the only 3 towns that offer human sacrifices. As much as I don't like it, it does stave off the cold and keeps our hearths warm. I'm starting to suspect that there's some sort of tie between towns that sacrifice their people and this murderer."
So
and he
you're
looks back at
saying
you, Wilzu.
you'd appreciate it if this cold-hearted killer was caught, right?
Ideally.
Okay, that's all right. If somehow we found this killer, since I didn't even know that it was one person. I thought it was maybe some weird cult thing or something outside of, picking a whatever your lottery does. But
Wills
if it,
the unsub, not killer, the unsub, the unidentified subject.
Bringing the
I've
criminal
been
minds
watching
in
a
here.
lot of Criminal Minds lately.
right, I'm not too good with murderous terminology, but
No problem, I got you.
if we did somehow find this man, surely there'd be some reward involved. Yes.
I like your thinking.
I'm sure we could come up with something. I can speak with the speaker and perhaps come up with some type of reward, yes.
Excellent. We are a newly formed group known as WES, and we are here to make things better for everyone. We already have 2 jobs, actually.
It's a name in progress.
And he says, unfortunately, I've told you all that I know of this situation. The communication we once had with the other towns has started dying off the further we get into this unending winter. So the few reports that I've gotten have said that these people were killed in the exact same manner. So I can only assume that it's one person.
After talking with him all this time, can I do an insight check to see if it looks like he's been hesitant on a few things he's been talking about, trying to withhold or hide something?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Very good. So you study his mannerisms, his facial expressions, and even his eyes. And not for a second do his eyes dart away from yours when he's addressing you. He seems completely forthcoming and completely truthful in everything that he's saying.
Right. Well, I suppose we'll be off then and keep an eye out for this cold-hearted killing person doing this damn deed.
He says, and he unfurls a map that's rolled up of the city that's rolled up on his table, and says, "Can you point out the house where this murder occurred? I'd like to send some of my men there to investigate."
Sure. Danica should still be there too. She may come by when she gets out of shock. She was a bit of an ordeal for her, but it's right here.
And he takes his quill out of his inkwell and marks a spot on it and says, "I will see to it immediately."
Does
Sheriff,
anyone have anything else? Did I miss something?
and Sheriff, we've told no one.
Good. The less people that know about this, the better.
A bit of a favor. You know,
Yes.
I see these strapping young men, and I was curious. Do you think that maybe when you send them to investigate, you can have one bring like a hammer and some nails and bolt the door back up? You see, the person may have damaged the door.
He sort of
She's just
smirks
a wee young woman.
and says, "I'll see what we can dig up. Wood is fairly precious."
I don't know if it was the wood necessarily, more like the hinge. Maybe if they could just make sure the hinge is all right.
Ah, yes. Well, we've been waiting on a shipment of iron, so perhaps once it gets here, we could take care of that.
Perfect, thank you. Good man you are. Good man, good man.
It'll be here tomorrow.
He looks over to you.
Excuse me.
What?
Sorry. Just a cough.
Very good. Make sure you bundle up, and if you are going to travel, make sure you purchase yourself some snowshoes.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
You don't want to fall into the snow, especially you, little one. You'll be up to your neck in 2 feet of
Oh,
snow.
believe me. Well, I'm gonna get supplies before I get out of here. That'd be a death sentence.
And be careful.
And I'll walk out of his room.
Make a perception check for me.
Sure.
Okay. As you leave the room, you see the receptionist, Elizabeth, walking away from the door, like she'd just kind of been lingering around.
Hmm.
And she
Oh,
sits
I see
back
this
down at
too?
her desk. No, you did not.
I'll make a mental note of this as we walk for the exit.
Where could we get snowshoes at this hour?
That'll be a tomorrow thing before we set out. Hmm? Maybe we could do it tonight. That'd be convenient.
Well, it's 12 hours at least. That's a long day. We should rest before leaving.
Well, yeah, we're definitely gonna rest before leaving. It's just, before we rest, do we buy the shoes or do we buy them when we wake up?
I don't know.
Also, we need a way to start a fire. I mean, I can cast fire. That's cool, but I can't, I don't have any wood.
I don't think anybody has wood.
A second thing we'll have to buy.
What? Wood that nobody has? Huh.
Right?
That's
They
really
have it. It's
difficult.
just, ooh, a lot of this. Ooh, very, very lot of this. Would this shop still be open, DM, right now?
I'd say you've most of y'all have been here long enough to know that pretty much when the sun goes down, all the shops close. Or
Okay.
I say when the sun goes down. There is no sun here. It's awful,
Yep.
and every day's terrible. So
It's extra
about this time, yeah, you all of the shops would probably be closed.
Well,
So
if
you
get-
find yourself back out in the empty streets.
We should go back to the inn and rest.
Indeed. Let's go.
We have a long day.
Okay. So we are headed back to the inn.
Northlook,
Okay.
whichever way it is.
To the north. So you make your way back north. You pass the street where Bell's glassworks are, and pass your way through the city square, and then eventually find yourself back at the Northlook about 20 minutes later. At this point, it's probably about 8 p.m.
Okay, here we go. Final round.
I mean, we'll be back again to tell the dwarves we got the iron.
Oh, damn it, Aramil, you are correct.
Sorry that I'm just bringing you down.
And I'll come in, and I'm just gonna power walk up to the counter.
Do you want me to do this?
You know what? Yes, I would. And I'm gonna go wait over here.
Okay. Okay. So you are walking up to Scramsacks.
Yes.
He
To
says,
acquire a room.
you're back.
Yes, we need a room for the night. Preferably a double bed if you have.
Well, we've got one room that's 2 beds. We've got another room that's, well, we have a few rooms that have beds big enough for, a couple. And he sort of looks at you, Sandy, and then down at you, Aramil. If that's the kind of thing you're into.
I also did not see a room for judgment on the menu either.
He sort of
You
laughs.
have quite the secret, luxurious menu. But I will take the basic room for 2. For me and the dwarf.
The dwarf. One of
Yes.
them, and points towards one of the dwarves sitting over there, missing fingers and nose.
Does it matter to you?
I suppose not.
Thanks again
Very
for this
good.
beer.
That's that's 10 silver for the night.
Deal. I'll give him 10 silver.
Okay.
I'd just like one of your basic rooms, please.
And that's 5 silver. He
Here you
looks
go.
to you, Aramil, and says, Through that door, points up at the same door to the northwest. Go to the end of the hall, make the turn. It's your first door on your left.
First door on the left.
And then looks at you, Sandy, and you said you were just getting a single room?
Correct.
Okay. He says, same door, first left, first room on your left. And hands you both keys off of his key ring.
Well then. I obviously take the key.
Yeah.
I'll make like a motion to...
To who?
I'm looking at Wilzu, just like...
I'll start. Creeping between the tables.
do baseball signs. Like,
the dwarves at the table seem to kind of catch your eye and look at you, and they. Haruna says, "Arya, I suppose you're waiting for morning to set out, yeah?"
Yes, darling.
Probably not the worst idea. All right,
they
well,
have-
sleep well.
do they have snowshoes on them?
They have them on their backs, yeah.
Yeah, it's only 3 pairs.
You trying to steal some shoes?
Who said that? No, Sin, I would not steal. I would buy them.
Oh, I was
But
thinking
if
more
you-
like borrow, but okay.
When do you think they go to sleep?
I don't know. Okay,
dying
first
to-
left.
I'm dying to acquire something.
Trying to remember which room is mine. Last door on left is my room. I don't understand.
So you find yourself you've basically kind of made a full circle all the way around. And then you remember he told you to go all the way to the end of the hall when you went through the first door.
Oh, right. Back this
These
way.
are real hotels.
Yep. Here's our room's over here. I'll go to it. It's the first on the right, I think you said, first on the left. I don't know.
It'll be the so Aramil, your room's it'll be the first right on the map, and the second right on the map will be your room, Sucinda.
I don't understand. I
Keep
can't
going.
see anything.
Take a turn down the end of the hallway. There you go. There you go.
This is a sprawling inn.
Aramil, you walked it. All right. There's one room there.
I know they were full of incompetence.
Sucinda, you keep going a little bit. Here, I'll help you
I'm
out
trying
here.
to.
You're getting
It
lost
won't
here, huh?
move me.
There you go. And here, I'll go ahead and move y'all to y'all's room there.
Praise be.
Praise be.
There you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
Look,
Alright.
he's just trying to trick me.
Y'all
and
suck at
confuse me with
directions.
all these-
Y'all are gonna fucking
Well-
die out in the wilderness.
That guy was an arrogant asshole.
He's you get used to him.
Well, Wilzu, I only need as an elf DM, it says I only need 4 hours. I
Okay.
assume that's still like a
Yeah, half the time, yeah.
yeah. Well, Wilzu, I only need 4 hours, and I'm not really gonna sleep, if you will, but I will.
Yeah, going into your trance is about as close to sleep as you could possibly go without actually dozing off.
So
Oh, yeah,
I will
I've-
be here.
I've read up on you elven folks. I know you do your strange 4-hour meditation that somehow counts as a full sleep. So, that's good. It's good for you, man.
Quite. The irony is not lost. We live for hundreds of years, but sleep half the time.
Taking full advantage of those waking hours.
Right.
On the other hand, you can probably hear me snoring down the hallway.
Just.
You probably will only get 4 hours of sleep anyways.
I'm gonna kick off my boots, get cozy, and just start sleeping.
Okay.
Same.
Is our door
Sen,
locked?
you can shut it and lock it, yeah. I just deleted the line of sight wall there. Sen, you've got an extra, some extra room to stretch out on your bed. You got like a queen size bed.
Love it. I'm literally like in the middle, like completely sprawled out.
Okay, so we're all going to go to sleep for the night.
Yes.
In my
Is there
4
anything
hours.
anybody wants to do before they pass out?
I'm just eyeing. Is there like a throw on the bed?
Yes.
Perfect. I plan on taking it in the morning.
Okay. Man, you're asking for it with scram sacks.
And I'm gonna thank him. I say, thank you so much, darling, for the complimentary throw. What service you offer.
We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes over with them. All right, so with that, you all climb into your beds and pretty easily doze off. And we're going to take a break here. So we're going to take like a 15. So actually that works out. It's about 9:15, 9:16 now. So we'll be back around 9:30 or just a little bit after that. So thank you everybody for watching with us so far. Hang out for just a little longer and we'll be back. And yeah, as Sigor said in the chat, we are on the eve of adventure. So
Can't wait.
hang tight and we will be right back, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. We're Cloak and Stagger. I'm Moose. I'll be your DM for the rest of the evening, unless somebody else, fights me, challenges me to mock Gra, and takes over DM role. So anybody that's, I'm looking at all of you on camera right now. Anybody wants to step up? No? Okay.
There's no Sylvanas here.
Yeah, what, dude? Literally DMing one game a week is almost more than I can handle, and I know people that DM like multiple games a week. And it's just like, how?
That's a lot of work.
It is so much. So shout out to those folks. You keep living that best life. So, you all good? Everybody good? Good to start? Everybody feeling all right? Got your drinks?
I'm ready.
All right. Cheers. All right. So, you all passed out at the Northlook Inn in your respective rooms. And was there a certain time y'all were wanting to arise?
After 4 hours.
So y'all went to bed around 8:30 p.m.
Sounds like a normal night.
Now the more light part of the day, so kind of the dawn of the day, generally starts around 7 a.m. So you don't really start seeing any type of light until then.
I'd say around 6 then, so we can kind of get our business going, then take full advantage of light once we travel out.
Yep. So actually all of you would know that pretty much most of the shops and stores open pretty much as soon as dawn hits, because they're trying to take advantage of the warmest part of the day, which still, is 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So the night goes by smoothly. None of you are awoken by anything sinister. Nothing crazy happens. So you all gain the benefits of a full rest, and you all start to just sort of awake on your own around 5:45, 6 a.m. So you're all waking up right now. I'll take us back to here. Oh, no, we're still here. Let me take the stream here. Here we go. Fancy transition. All right. What would y'all like to do?
I'll close my book that I've been reading for 4 hours.
I'll wake up and stretch. Immediately slide on
going
the bed,
down?
get my boots on.
Have you read this one, Wilzu? It's called Strahd's Curse. It's very interesting.
Oh, I have not, and I've read a lot of books, and even I've even written a book too, actually.
You've written one.
Yeah, but let's talk about that another time. We gotta get going. We gotta get going and get everybody up. That's right. And I walk out the door.
I've packed up and I'm heading to talk to my good friend.
Your good friend?
Yeah. Oh,
I don't remember where the
get
rooms
behind
are.
the bar.
Wilzu, you worked here.
Yeah, but I don't remember where I don't remember where everyone went. So I'm just gonna go out in the main hall.
Right.
Okay, and you see Scramsacks come out of the back. And,
Darling, Scram Shack, darling.
It's Scramsacks. Thank you.
Scramsacks. Yes, dear friend of mine, Scramsacks.
Let's hang out back here and see what happens.
Thank you so much for this wonderful throw that was on my bed. I did not realize you guys offered this complimentary service. Thank you, darling. Thank you
He
so
says,
much.
Wait, what? Hold on. What? No, we don't have complimentary services here.
No, but I looked in one of the other rooms and they didn't have it, and I only saw it on mine, so I assumed that that it was, I'm flattered. Thank you so much. How sweet of you. I'll be sure to tell everybody. They should
I'm
come
gonna-
see you.
I'm gonna
yes,
need
I
you
will
to
promote your service to everybody because of the throw, complimentary, that I have received. I'll tell everyone to come and stay. Right?
He sort of leans over and looks past your right shoulder. And Wilzu, he seems to be just staring right
I'm
at you.
backspacing him. I have no idea. Treating it like a normal human.
you can feel it like on the back of your neck. You've been
chills.
stared at so many times.
Your former employer is eyeing you.
Yeah, well, let's just...
Scram sacks. No, I'm looking at you. What are you looking at?
He looks back at you. He looks back at you.
I wave.
He says, unless you're wanting to pay for another night in the room, I'm gonna need your keys.
Yes, here's my key, darling. Thank you.
He looks over and up at you, Sandy.
Here's my key, and I'd like a morning ale, please.
He
Hell
says,
yeah.
my kind of person, yes. He says, I've heard many stories about the Goliaths, but I can imagine you can not only hold your own in a fight, but also in a drinking competition, yes. And he
I
pours
can
you
hold my own in any competition you put me in.
He pours you a mug of ale and slides it over to you and says, that'll be a silver.
Well, thank you, good sir. And I'll
Also,
just
you
kind of
want-
like throw a silver at him.
he catches it, actually.
Well, so
As
you
you
want
kind
some
of flip
breakfast?
it towards him, his reflexes actually seem pretty good. And
Want some
Wilzu,
food,
you know Scramsax to actually be a pretty formidable. He's a former adventurer. You know that he was a former adventurer, and you know that he knows his way around a blade.
So, scram sacks.
He walks back over to you.
Do you have like scrambled eggs, or what do you have for the morning?
He says, "Aye, we've got eggs.
What about coffee?
No coffee."
Oh, well, can I have some scrambled eggs, please, and a water?
He nods and disappears back into the kitchen.
Sin, have you ever heard of a famous breakfast by... It was made by Susan, but I cannot remember what it was
The
called.
Susan Special. You didn't
Do you
say.
think they have those here?
Oh my God, I don't know why I didn't ask. Scram sacks.
You're throwing back to previous campaigns. He comes back out a few moments later.
My sweet darling scram sacks. You guys, my friend here, he just mentioned to me about a special. I didn't know if you guys had it here as well. Do you have the Susan Special?
No
here?
specials here.
Oh.
Quite. I'll have two sets of eggs, or scrambled servings. Whatever, 2 servings. And
He
here's my
says,
key.
and he says, that'll be a silver. And he looks past you again. Wilzu, you gonna eat anything, or are you just gonna stand there with your back to me all morning?
I ordered 3 servings. 3 servings.
And he says, that'll be another 5 copper.
I kinda
Just here's a silver.
pretend like I was talking to Sandy. I was like, I used my hands like doing this, but
Make a performance check.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pretty much pull it off. He just sort of looks and shakes his head and says, I don't know what you guys see in that little gnome, but you can have him.
We see him as an equal.
Yep. Sure. He just sort of walks off.
Who's this cat next to Sin?
Just some woman sitting at the bar. She seems to be sitting there eating some eggs as well.
How was your moderate stace?
You talking to Sin?
How How was my what?
Your fancy room.
Oh, it was rather lovely. You know, as a matter of fact, Scramsax, he left this blanket in there for me. This little throw. Isn't it nice? It's lovely.
I was about to compliment you on your newly acquired attire.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I'll have to wrap it up and put it in my backpack when we go. But, you know, it's so comfy. I wanted to keep it on. Oh, it's just nice and warm.
You should get that embroidered.
Do you think that they offer a service here?
Not in this fine establishment.
No, not here, but like in the town.
Oh, I'm sure for the
Surely.
right price. Probably a tailor.
Maybe I could get Was written on it. Or maybe I should wait until we find what our real name will be.
You know, it's interesting. Wasp could hit us, or something else could just come upon us. What about the Yeti killers?
Well, I don't
Well, we
want to
haven't done
commit.
it yet.
Yeah, right. That's what I was just about to say.
How much money do you think Scramsax has here? I say in a hushed voice.
I don't know. I mean, the rooms are kind of expensive if you ask me. But and then again, I did get this lovely throw, so maybe it was worth it after all.
Just, I'm sure everybody thinks that, you know. It's a common thought.
Yes.
Scramsack seems to just be distracted looking around the room.
Do you think that he's forgotten about our eggs?
Can we see into the kitchen?
If you move, yeah, you can. Like, there's no door there, so you could
That's
see
just-
back there.
There aren't like, it isn't like a restaurant where they have that cutout where they like slide the plates up. or-
No, yeah, there's
It's
just a
just the
door.
door.
Yeah, so if you move over, like, you could peer back into the kitchen.
I don't know.
Nah?
I think they've forgotten about our eggs.
A few moments later, a woman comes out of the back with 2 plates of eggs and slides it across the bar to you.
Ah.
And she says, "Here you go, friends."
Thank you so much, girlfriend. Have a great
Quite.
day.
And she walks back into the kitchen.
She seems saucy.
Willsy, you know that was Bridget. She's super part-time.
But full-time attitude.
With a full-time attitude.
Well, let's rejoin them.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Here we go.
Wazoo.
Brace yourselves, everybody. We're getting back together.
Well,
right.
Sue, I got some food for you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate it. I was gonna, well, the only way to get it would be to talk to him, but you talk to him, so excellent. Thank you.
Yep. Well, in the next place we stay at, well, you'll get the next one.
Right, absolutely. And I'll eat some eggs.
So you all go through your breakfast, and about a half hour passes since you've woken up to now. You're kind of wrapping up your food, and so yeah, it's about 6:30 in the morning.
So we should get some snowshoes and head out.
Actually, I throughout the night, it came to me. Everything. I made a shopping list. Hold on, let me pull it up.
While you were sleeping.
Well, no, not while I was sleeping. Just right before we went to bed, I came up with this list. All right, so snowshoes. That's on the list. Absolutely. Tents. We need 2 tents. I look over to Sandy. 3 tents. We need 3 tents. Oil. Likely whale oil, knowing what's around here. And also, this I thought this might be interesting. I don't know how long we're going to be out there, and food is rather troublesome to come by. Would you all be interested in maybe picking up some fishing poles and hooks?
For fishing.
Right, ice fishing.
And just as a side note, as a DM note, you all know that fishing for knucklehead trout here is a huge industry, and knucklehead trout, they can get up to 70 pounds, 80 pounds just for a single fish. But it is quite the experience reeling one in. Old Bitey on the wall in here, the Billy Big Mouth bass on the wall in here, is about 5 feet long. He's huge.
I mean, we've got food to travel, I believe. I don't know if we need to fish on this trip.
Fishing might be kind of fun, though.
And you never know what can happen out there, right? What if we're stuck out there and we can't come back for some reason? I can't predict that. It's fucking cold out there.
Well, it was nice knowing you if you get stuck out there.
Well, that's why we prepare now, just in case. We can.
I mean, yes, we stay together.
So that's a yes on the fishing pole.
Will Zoo, I'll buy a fishing pole.
2 should be enough. What about you, big man?
You buy the fishing pole. I'll help you reel it in.
You know what? That's perfect for me.
Will Zoo, I do have a question, though. You said 3 tents. There are 4 of us, though.
Right. Each tent fits 2 people, except maybe Mr. Ravage. Maybe he needs his own.
Then one other person would be sleeping alone.
Which
so only
I guess
one
would be.
tent has 2 people. Why? Why not just all of us get our own tent then at that point?
Well, that seems like a waste of money, right?
One person will be on what?
Wilzu, I think me and you could fit in one tent. I think we cover about maybe 2.5 people.
That's good logic, because 2 mediums go in a tent. So if a small and a big go in a tent, that's like 2 mediums. You know what? 2 tents. That's right. That makes sense.
Sponge plus star equals clamfish.
Yes, Aramel, I do believe that is correct.
Okay. In that case, that's anything else we should buy while we're out?
Oh, I'm sure that my eye might catch something that I would like. We'll see, though.
And, DM, thinking about where we can buy all this stuff. Can we get everything in the same spot, or are we gonna have to go multiple places?
No, you know that you can get pretty much everything you need at Black Iron Blades, and so much so that there's a couple things that you specifically Wilzu know about Black Iron Blades. One, that it's kind of the main smithy and outfitter for the whole city. There are other kind of smaller places, but they sell a lot of kind of the same stuff and in less quantity. So this is kind of the Walmart of the town, more or less. You know that it's run by 2 dwarves named Garn the Hammer and his sister Elza.
Nice.
Garn and who?
Elza, Elza. You know that at this place, you can get rations, you can get cold weather gear, ice picks, snowshoes, and then weapons. But the thing is, just like with Walmart, the quality of the product most of the time is mediocre at best. So there is kind of a running gag around the town that a lot of adventurers who come through. They kind of make the joke about hapless newcomers in Icewind Dale that often end with the sentence, "And he was carrying a black iron blade too," and everybody kind of laughs. So it's
like Acme products.
Yeah, exactly. So it's definitely the best place to find things, but it's also not going to be the super highest quality stuff.
Is there a super high quality place that we can shop?
Not that
Trader Joe's.
Not that you're aware of.
Or like some hipster place that's like, I only use authentically made.
Whole Foods.
Yeah.
What about IKEA?
All of the hipster and indie places shut down when the Icewind lockdown came in, when the never-ending winter set in.
That's a real bummer. It's a real bummer. Like,
That's what we need to
It was a
open.
real shame for local businesses.
Frostwind Kia.
Yeah, there's no Swedish build-it-yourself stores in town. I'll say that.
It's a market ready to be tapped.
That's what I was just about to say. When we get back, we're gonna make it.
Deal.
You're gonna make D&D IKEA?
Yes.
Yup. But hipster.
What are design checks?
We go to Black Iron Blades then to get some stuff.
Yes. Yes, we shall.
Yes, we shall.
Okay. So, are we heading out now?
I'm ready.
Okay. Give me
I
one
would like to
second.
go up to the guy who runs the inn.
Your best friend.
I can't remember his name. What's his name?
Scramsax.
Scrimsax. Let me
Better
write
if
that
you
down.
don't know.
If you have to ask, you don't want to know.
Scramsax.
Ah, yes.
Thank you
He
so
kind of
much
walks
again
back over.
for my throw. I just really appreciate it. So
I,
I just
again,
wanted to
you're
say
not
thank you
supposed to
again.
keep it, but I don't feel like arguing with you this morning.
well, just know that I appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely day. I'll see you in a couple days. Okay? Don't miss me too much. Okay? Bye.
He just
I walk
sort of rolls his eyes and goes back to talking to another person at the bar. Okay, so we're heading to Black Iron Blades.
I'm
Okay,
securing my throw in my bag.
throw. Okay, so you all set out, and it only takes about 5 minutes. It's pretty close. It's not on the opposite side of the town like Bell's Glassworks or Town Hall or anything. It's just a couple of blocks over. But after about 10 minutes or so, you find yourself. Let me make sure I've got everybody over here. Roll 20's being nice and slow today.
Yeah, I'll have to second that.
Here we go. And you find yourself standing outside of Black Iron Blades.
All right, let's go buy some of the fine goods and equipment that this place offers.
Do they have a slogan? Black Iron Blades.
Not that's written on the door.
I'll open the door up.
Okay, you do. And when you do, you can hear the sound of hammering off to the left, and you see a very stout dwarf standing over there on the left side of the room, and another one sitting at a desk over on the right side of the room. The woman sort of stands up and says, "Ah, our first customers of the day. Ah, is that you, Wilzu?"
Indeed it is, Elsa, and I come in need of adventuring gear.
Oh, oh, you're serious? You've
That I am.
you've found yourself a group.
Quite
And,
capable ones, as you can see.
She sort of looks around and says, "Ah, well, look at that. I always knew there was something special about you, Wilzu. Look at you out there making friends and going on adventures. You're gonna do great. What can I do for you?"
Well, I am glad you asked. I would like to get 4 rations, 4 pairs of snowshoes, 4 sets of oil, 2 tents, and 2 fishing hooks and tackles.
Her eyes kind of go wide with each one, and she's sort of leaning back further and further as you say this. Oh, wow. Okay, you're on quite the adventure then. All right. So take me through that again. What? Just one at a time now.
Sure. Okay. First off, do you guys have rations to go here by chance, like wrapped crackers or something?
We do, yes.
Okay, 4 of those. 4 of those.
Okay. And just for the sake of brevity, I'll say that as you're saying this, she kind of walks to certain bags or crates and is sort of grabbing these things out and putting them on the desk in front of her as you're kind of listing it off.
Okay. We will need 4 sets of snowshoes.
All right. And just just for reference, the snowshoes, where'd it go? Where did you go? I believe the snowshoes are... Fuck, I had it pulled up. Where'd it go? I think they're 2 gold a pair.
Okay.
Yeah, they're 2 gold a pair. Because I know those aren't in the adventure guide.
Right. We will also need 4, kind of, I'd say Kindle, but I know that's kind of rare around here. Oil, 4 sets of oil, whale oil, vials. I don't know how you give them out.
She says, indeed. And she actually walks over to one of the barrels and sort of uncorks it and has the vials and sort of fills them up and hands them over to you.
Excellent. 2 tents.
And she walks over to one of the shelves and grabs a couple of folded up tents and puts them on there, and it's getting kind of taller and taller there. Man, this is just a doggy night. We've had all the doggies on camera tonight.
The last thing would be 2 fishing hooks and fishing tackle, and also 2 fishing poles.
She turns to go grab the fishing poles, and then she stops and turns around and looks at you and says, Wilzu, are you planning on fishing for the knucklehead trout?
Well, you see, the fishing poles are kind of a plan C. If we get absolutely dominated out there in the cold, frigid winds and we're trapped and need some sort of food, I'll eat anything I can fish up.
Oh, Wilzu, you know if you hook anything like old Bitey at the Northlook, you're gonna be dragged right into the water.
No. You see, Elsa, that's where you're mistaken. Because I am not the fisherman. He is.
She looks over, and Sandy, what are you doing currently?
I'm looking at this dwarf.
Yeah,
known
so
as
he's
the hammer.
He's completely he is preoccupied with sort of hammering down on a blade, and then he's taking it and kind of putting it in the forge, and then taking it back over and putting it on the anvil and hammering at it. And after a few minutes, he does kind of look up and see you and say, why aren't you the big fucker?
I heard they call you the hammer.
He
Yes.
holds it up and he says, indeed they do. And who are you?
Some would say they call me the Macho Man.
He kind of looks you up and down and says, an apt description, all right. What do you want?
Kind of look him down and down. I make sure to preface that I know he's shorter than me. So you
Well,
trying to
spit
wrestle?
it out. What?
You trying to wrestle?
Am I trying to wrestle?
And I kind of get in a stance. Just get down and ready. Let me tell you something, brother. I'm going to take you down and crush you up.
Guys,
So-
look over here. Look over here.
all of you hear this happen across the room. I have had a lot of people come in here and try to wrestle me out of my own goods. You're not gonna be the first, and you won't be the last. I reckon you better step back before I take my hammer to your fucking kneecap.
No one said anything about no holds barred. I pull out my maul.
Elsa, do you have a bell? Do you have a bell, Elsa?
I'm dying.
Give me a bell, Elsa, right now.
I guess I'll take that as a forfeit, and I'll kind of just walk away.
He says, yeah, better walk away.
Oh, I run right back.
Oh,
What'd you say, little one?
Elsa bell, Elsa bell.
He says, you heard me. I ain't gonna have anybody come in here into my shop and intimidate me in my own house. He said, Elsa, get me big hammer.
Whoa. And a bell.
Aramel, just wait until they bring Big Hammer. I will make the bell sound. You just wait.
Okay.
Let me tell you something, little one. I'm gonna take you down to the pound town. and rip you a new one.
He says, all right then, big boy. You want to come at me in my shop? You beat me. I'll tell you what, I'll give you 10% off your order. How about that?
Oh, I start slapping myself up. I reach into my pocket and pull out my headband. All right, brother. Let's go.
And he
I am dying.
he says, all right then. And he walks over to a table over here and picks up a big hammer off of the table and puts his smelting hammer down. And if you want a one-on-one, bro, let's roll initiative.
I make a Aramil.
I'm
Ding,
ready.
ding. Let's go, Rumble.
He rolled his initiative. He's ready.
All right, here we go. Let me roll initiative. I wasn't expecting this, but here we
Do you
go.
have any popcorn? Do you sell the popcorn?
Yeah, do you have snacks?
And you can see Elsa just roll her eyes and say, this is the third fucking time this week. I swear, my brother.
So, do you have popcorn? Or snacks?
Okay,
Just rations, I think.
Oh, okay.
he walks back up to you, Sandy. You actually rolled higher on initiative, so you are first.
I take a seat. I'm sitting
Okay.
down trying to watch this.
Seeing
I don't have
that
any
he
fight
has-
music ready for this. I was not ready for that.
Seeing that he has his hammer out, I pull my maul out, and I go into a rage. And at the same time as my rage, I'm going to reckless attack. He has Sandy completely pissed off. And I'm going to come down with my maul of rage across his head.
Okay, make an attack roll. That's gonna be a 22 to hit, which does hit. And you come right across his head with it, and he kind of for 12 damage.
Nice.
How
You
do
say
you
you're-
like that one, little one?
And he looks up, and he's like, he says, if you wanted to fucking tickle me, why didn't you bring some feathers?
Ooh.
You big
Jonathan?
bastard!
I'll be right back.
Okay.
We gotta go out.
Which is going to bring us to him, and he's going to pull up his hammer and with two hands try to come right across your knees with it.
Going right for the
Wow.
That's going to be a 10 to hit, which I don't think hits.
No, he does get advantage.
He does get advantage? Okay.
Yeah, it's a reckless attack.
Okay, then a 20 will hit then.
Yes.
Let me fix this so it rolls damage. I didn't have this character ready to fucking fight. So I didn't have him ready. All right, so the first one was to hit this. I'm going to roll it again, though, but this is just for the damage. And that's going to be 8 damage
Okay.
across your kneecaps.
That's half, I think.
Is that half?
Is it? Do you resist bludgeoning?
Yeah, you
shit.
should.
Barbarian boys normally do, I think. In rage mode.
No, that's for.
The knees buckle. Sounds like they're buckling.
I don't think it's half.
Let's see. When raging, does it just when you're in raging? Does it say anything about it being halved?
I can share it.
Let's see.
Yeah, it says right here, resistance. to
Yeah, you have
bludgeoning,
resistance.
Slashing.
Yeah, so
Resistance to
you
melee
take
damage.
you take half damage. So you take 4 damage.
Okay. All right.
You're a champion. When you're
And
doing a
it
rage.
is your turn.
Okay. Ha! You call that an attack? I come back at him with it.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Nope.
Wow.
That is definitely gonna hit again.
Yeah, don't kill
And
him.
you come right into his side, and he's He said, and then he kind of takes a knee for a sec, but he gets back up and he said, "If I'd wanted a hug, I'd call my fucking grandma." And he comes back and swings at you with his again. It's gonna be a 16 to hit for 3 damage total.
Yep.
That's what.
So, huh?
Is that one half?
It was 6 damage, so
okay.
3 is halved. Yeah.
We don't see your rolls.
Oh, why is it whispering to me? Okay, hold on. I see that. It's whispering to me. Oh, here it is. Don't whisper rolls. Never whisper rolls. Get that shit out of here. All right, sorry about that. All right, it is your turn, Sandy.
I thought they called you the hammer, not the pillow. Come back.
And a 9 is going to miss as you come and swing across, and he actually jumps above. What, do you swing with advantage when you're raging?
Not when I'm raging.
You have to do reckless.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to do reckless.
All right, so he actually jumps over your swing and kind of does a little roll off to the side and stands back up and just sort of yells as he runs back up to you and swings again. That's going to be 15 to hit for another 6 damage, so 3.
Yes.
That puts him here. And that brings us to your turn.
I'm gonna do like a little action roll to his side, and then try to, while I'm still kneeling down, I just felt like I needed to get to your level, and then I rush him across the side.
And that definitely hits. And you come right across and just catch him right in the stomach, and he almost kind of gags a little bit, and he drops his hammer on the ground and just you fucker, you're a tough bastard.
Pin him. I shout pin him.
You're a tough bastard, but all right, you win. And we're out of combat.
Now I told you to not test me, no matter what they call you, brother. I am the Macho Man.
He says,
and I'll take that 10%.
Indeed you are. It's been a while since I found anybody with a challenge. I'll tell you what, here, on top of the discount, have one of these. And he goes over and he grabs one of these red vials off of the crate here and comes back over and hands you a healing potion.
Aww.
And when he does, he sticks his hand out and reaches for a handshake.
Oh, out of respect, I'll shake your hand.
And you get the Arnold Schwarzenegger, firm handshake. Yes. He says, if you ever need some weapons or a blade, you know where to come. You really are a big bastard, though. We don't see many Goliath here.
Well, I appreciate it.
I did not know we were going to be treated to such entertainment.
Elza sort of just buries her head in her hand, and it just says, "This happens at least twice a week. This is the first person that's actually beaten them, though."
Wow.
And
he is my fisherman, as you can see.
Hell of a fisherman.
He walks past you, Sandy, and sort of gives you a pat on the chest, and goes back to his forge. And he seems to be kind of like stretching, and you hear him cough a couple times, but then he kind of goes back to hammering on his anvil. Almost just like it's just another day at Walmart.
I'm gonna go ahead and take the potion of healing.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh.
Very good.
Back up to good.
Next.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Elsa,
Yes, dear.
do you have anything that's not just like something specific that you carry that most other people don't carry? Like I I have a friend who had a bag of holding. It was very nice because she could just keep buying things, and, you know, she didn't have to tell everybody what she was buying because they couldn't just see it. She could just, oh, I didn't know what you're talking about, darling. I didn't get that.
As you're
And
kind of
because
going
they
on,
didn't know what was in the bag.
her face kind of contorts and is looking more and more confused.
I'll take
I'll
that
take that as a no. Do you have anything?
She said, "We've got some regular bags."
No, I have a regular bag, thank you. What? Do you have anything else like? Oh, you know, I just got this in. We don't normally carry this.
Well, we have a couple of things. We've started selling some, and she kind of puts her hand on the tents, and says, "We had someone come through town. Torgas, her traveling caravan. They just came through town a night or two ago. I think they've left now, but headed to Targos, I think. But they sold us some of these," and points to some thicker tents in the back of the kind of shelving area there. These are insulated tents. They help to protect against the cold, but I'll tell you, they're a little more expensive.
And how much more expensive would they be?
Well, it's big enough for 2 people, and well, we bought it for 50 gold. We'd be able to sell it to you for, you know, you get the 10% discount because my fat brother over there decided to just give away the shop, apparently. So 45 gold for one of those.
For just one.
Perhaps next time.
And then she
You have
says,
a layaway program.
and if you want the real good stuff, we bought a couple of these. Actually, just one. It was too expensive, and she points to this big thing over in the corner. I don't have it on the map here, but it's this big kind of bulky thing in the corner that looks really like all kinds of furs and everything. But she walks over to it and puts her hand on it and said, "This is what we call the insulated shelter. Up to 5 people in this bad boy. 200 gold, though."
Is that when she says that?
Yeah, she slapped it.
Do you do credits? Like a store card?
I'm afraid we'd go broke if we did that, sweetheart.
24 months financing.
No financing here.
Next
Not even
time.
afterpay.
No,
that
it's
tent.
up front only.
Or shelter.
I message Sin. Hey, we're about to get those 50 gold gems. We could get the
That's a
tents
good
next time.
point. We sure could. Can you hold them on good faith?
Well, I can't rightfully say if someone comes in here and plops 200 gold down on the counter, I'm not gonna take it.
I mean, I can't blame you, darling, so, I mean, I understand. Do you have, like, the equivalent of that in, like, a single for one person, like, jacket? Like, oh, you just have a regular measly tent. So here is a sweater that keeps you at 98.6 degrees at all times.
She says,
Waltering.
we do have some fur lining that you could put in your coats. That'd be 18 gold.
Who puts the lining in?
She says, I do.
Gold.
Are you a tailor?
I am many things, my friend.
Can you do embroidery?
Great question, Aramil.
Suppose I could try my hand at it.
What about a big banner?
How big?
Mel, getting ahead of us.
Well, is Mr. Wilzu, is there anything else I can get for you?
No, just all that stuff.
Can I
All
ask
right.
you one question?
A question? Sure.
Question, yes, question, sorry. Do you, could we sell things to you? Say, for example, this hypothetical question. say hypothetically, we buy 2 regular measly tents. And then in 3 days' time, we come back and we say, you know what, second thought. Or what's your return policy? Maybe that's a better question.
All sales
we
are
say-
final, my dear.
Okay, back to question A then. We have 2 regular tents. And in 2 days' time, we come back and we say, you know what, on second thought, I would like the insulated tent instead. Can we sell back to you the 2 tents that we have, and we buy the 2 insulated tents?
I suppose as long as they're in working condition, that should be fine, but just know I may not, in terms of used goods, buy it for the same price that I sold it to you for. That's a rental company you're looking for, sweetheart. We don't do rentals.
Seems fair.
Okay.
What do we owe you?
She looks down at everything. I have not done the math or looked at all of that. I assume you have, Wilzu.
I have.
Okay. So just whatever that total is, take it out. Take it out with your check.
I take out 16 gold, and I don't have any silver, so I take out 17 gold and ask her for 6 silver.
Okay. And she reaches down in the desk and opens it up with a key.
Well,
Pulls out the change and gives it back to you.
Like to
I had
lean
an
in.
awful lot of gold.
That includes the discount, correct?
Yeah, did you take 10% off of that?
I did not.
You
I
have
also
to
don't know
take.
what 10% of 17 is.
It'd be 1 gold, 7 silver. Minus. So just add a gold and 7 silver back to your wallet.
So 16
Got it.
gold. Well, Wilzu, here's 4 of mine to help you.
Nonsense! This is my buy because this is our first adventure, and I'm covering it. Mm-hmm.
But you're probably broke, right?
Oh, I had a good amount of money on me. I'm still a little over half of what I have.
How much money did you have?
That's not nice to ask a companion.
Oh, I'm so
You do a lot
sorry.
of tips doing what I do at the end.
He has been
Thank
working at the
you.
end for a while.
That's a great point.
You work for tips, eh?
I don't ask for them. Okay, if they want to give it, I ain't gonna say no.
Wilzu, thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you.
Does anything fancy happen when I put on my nice fancy new boots that I was just given?
Yeah, and I gotta hand stuff out. I hand out everyone. I give you 1 ration. I give you 1 vial of the oil, 1 set of snowshoes, and I give a fishing pole and tackle to Sin.
To Sen or to Sandy?
Sin. Sandy's gonna reel it in if I get one.
Okay.
Hmm.
'Cause he's probably years better than me. He's probably years better at actually doing it. Period. I walk up to Sandy and go, Sandy, do you just want to hold on to it? You probably do the whole process better anyhow.
Seeing that it would probably be about an extra foot or 2 above you, yes, I'll carry that for you, as well as I'll carry your tent, or our tent.
Nice man. And I'll just hold him up.
Sen, I got ours.
Thank you. I don't know how to add equipment. I thought I was trying to do it, but it's not working.
Click on manage equipment.
Yeah, manage
I
equipment.
did.
And you just
How
type
do
in
I
the
just
filter.
like...
Just type in what you got, like oil, and then find it and click add after it pops up. In this case, it'd be oil flask, I believe.
Yeah.
What about fishing pole?
That's not in the item list. So, but if you type tackle, fishing tackle's there, which will I think it's like the same thing. There's
Yeah.
block and tackle as well, but I don't know what block and tackle is.
I don't either. I'd have to look. But fishing
So do we-
tackle works.
Do we need
And
to
you
find
said
a
what for
pole
oil?
of some sort, or?
I'll say that the fishing tackle includes the pole.
And snowshoes you'll have to manually make, I believe.
How do I manually do it?
You don't really have to worry about it right now. Just know that you all have a set of snowshoes.
Okay.
Oh, it's a thing. It's snowshoes.
Oh, it is a thing?
Yep.
Oh, they must have added it.
Look at that. Yeah, they're there.
Thanks, Wizards of the Coast.
It's D&D Beyond.
D&D Beyond!
I believe we're ready to hit the icy trails now. Hmm?
Yes.
And with that, I'm gonna wave to Elza as I walk towards the exit.
Thank
She
you for
says,
the entertainment.
She says, well, I'm glad you were entertained. Now I've got to clean up this mess. And she starts walking over towards towards the hammer. Just kind of grumbling under her breath. And then as you're leaving, you hear her just kind of yell out at him, "What are you thinking?" Just, and it kind of fades out as you go through the door.
Sandy, that was quite an entertaining bout.
Anyone with a nickname like the Hammer has definitely had his fair share of wrestling matches.
All right, so where are we headed? We're still in town. The sky is illuminated enough to where you have twilight, which is basically, again, the equivalent of like a full moon with no clouds. So it's still very dark, but not as dark as it was.
We're gonna make our way, I think, in a direct line to where those dwarves said they came from, and just head out of town and start marching. Oh, I'm gonna put on my snowshoes right now.
Same.
Same.
Okay.
Same.
When you put on the snowshoes, you find it noticeably easier. Let's see. Block and tackle is a rope and pulley, and the unit where the rope attaches to something solid to make it easier to lift heavy objects. Okay. Dude. Thank you, Coriander Labs. We got the D&D engineer here.
I'm glad I didn't buy
Appreciate that. All right, so the way that they came in through town looked like they'd come in through. Let me pull up the map here. It looked like they had come in through kind of the southern gate, which is kind of on the southwest side of town. So you're still up kind of in the general area of the Northlook. So go ahead and change this here. Just a nice little picture here. So you make your way through the town. Now it's about 7 a.m. So the light is at its, it's about as good as it's going to get for the next little while. So as you're traveling, you find yourself, again, weaving through the buildings, taking the main roads, and just every now and again seeing somebody walking the other way just completely bundled up from head to toe. You can't tell if it's, a human, I guess if it was a dwarf, you'd notice they're a little shorter, but no distinguishing feature. Everybody's just completely bundled up that you do see. And you follow the main road towards the southwest gate where the stables are, and you pass Bell's Glassworks. And I'd like everybody to make a perception check, because it's not really right here on the main road. It's a little bit off the main road. Okay. Damn, everybody. All right. So all four of you just kind of knowing where you are in the town, glance over down the road where Bell's Glassworks is, and all four of you notice simultaneously that even though it's a couple buildings down the road, you can see that the front doors of this place are just wide open.
It was the secretary.
That
think it
doesn't
was-
look good.
You know,
It was Colonel Mustard in the library.
we
I'm gonna
never
Sorry, go ahead.
we never did question him about what he may have known about man dying.
I want to start marching over that way.
Okay.
Same.
Everybody's following?
One team, one dream.
Okay. As you start marching over that direction, you notice that the doors are not just open, they have been actually just broken down.
Oh, this is bad. Last time we saw this, there was a murder.
So when you look into the building, you can see that this place has been completely trashed. There are bottles and glasses laying all over the floor, broken, some of which are still in place. But this place looks like someone was just turning it upside down, looking for something.
I notch an arrow.
Call out, hello? Anyone?
And it kind of echoes out in this big empty room. The ceilings in this place are a little higher since it's got a big forge in it and a large chimney where it can go out. So you kind of hear, it's like standing in a large room with no furniture in it. So you almost hear this very hollow, lonely echo as you call out, to which nobody responds.
Belle! Belle! Belle!
I keep my
Are
arrow
you
ready.
there? There! There! There!
I want to start looking around on the floor and look and see if it looks like there was a scuffle or something, or some scrapes and stuff, or
Okay.
anything.
Make an investigation check.
Ooh, I'm good at those. I say that, but this is my result. Never mind.
So yeah, it definitely looks like there was some sort of scuffle, but it looks more like you don't see any blood, and you don't find a body anywhere. So it looks like somebody was maybe looking for something, or perhaps that this was even possibly staged. But your eye is sort of caught, and you remember when you visited here the other day, something about when you walked in. Belron looked startled, and seemed to kind of quickly stuff something in his desk. So your eye is kind of caught by his desk a little bit. And I only say that because you rolled a 17. I'll say Wilzu's the one that notices this, unless he says something.
Oh, I'll
that was
say
a really
something.
good roll.
Because Aramel's already closer. Aramel, check. Can you check that desk?
Ooh. Yes, of course.
Aramil, make a perception check with advantage.
Yep.
Okay.
What do we have? What do
As
we have
you're
here?
looking around this desk, there's a couple of books and some parchment on there with just kind of different orders and everything like that. You actually see Scramsax's order for mugs and glasses on there, kind of circled a couple times actually. But you look actually underneath the desk and you find what looks like a little hidden drawer, a hidden compartment.
Come to Papa. Is it locked?
It looks like it's locked, but there is a key on it, a keyhole.
I will take out my thieves' tools
Okay.
and see if we can discover a secret.
All right. Let's see what you got.
Well, it says to use. I don't know what to.
Oh, what to roll?
Yeah, because it
Thieves'
comes up.
tools is going to be.
Sleight
We'll call it sleight of hand. Yeah, I believe it's sleight of hand.
Because when I clicked on the thing, it said use a tool and then use tool, and it's. Do I use? And then it's like, what modifier do you want to use? And
Yeah.
then select proficiency.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So it would be dexterity, and you would be proficient with them.
Yeah. So just a dexterity check.
Yeah, we'll say, or if you want to do sleight of hand, whichever's
sleight of
better.
hand,
Yeah.
There we go. Eh.
Okay, so that's good enough. It's not a very complex lock.
Okay.
It looks like the main purpose of this drawer was to be hidden more than anything else. So as you fiddle with your thieves' tools, there you hear a click, and the drawer sort of it's almost like one of those ones. It's like it comes down. So instead of pulling out, when you unlock it, you feel it kind of lower down a little bit, and when you pull down, the drawer sort of opens up. And inside, there's a couple of things that you see. It looks like there's a rolled up letter that's kind of tied up. It looks like, and I'll say this just from your background and from who you are, you notice a set of forgery tools as well as an unsealed envelope. So you see those three things in there.
Forgery tools, unsealed envelope, and what was the third thing?
Another, it looks like a letter that had been written,
And
but
letter.
it's kind of rolled up, and then it's got like a little tie, a little bow around it, pretty much.
I'll say thank you, mask, and then I'll put away my tools. And of course, I got to open up the envelope and the letter.
Okay, which one do you open
do we
up
have
first?
Here, I'll put it on the table. Well, look what I stumbled on. We'll do the envelope first.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody's kind of congregating over there, so I'm moving Sen over there to the table.
I set it out clear as day. Like, this is what I found.
Okay. So we're looking at which one first, the unsealed envelope or the
Envelope
letter?
first.
Okay. So when you open the envelope, you pull out a piece of paper that's in there that's just folded in half. And the letter in the envelope only has a few things on it. One of which is an official letterhead with the insignia of Bryn Shander on it. And it looks identical to the one that Sheriff Southwell showed you in his office, except this one has the name Ven Eagledane written on it.
Oh, shit.
Well, I think we will know what's the letter, and I'll read the letter.
So the letter is actually it's you see that it's written in Dwarvish.
Cool. I read Dwarves.
You read Dwarvish? Okay.
Yep.
So looking at the symbols, you're able to decipher them, and it says, Bell, they've really started increasing security around the lottery. We may need to lay low for a while. I thought the sheriff had caught me when I was in his office, but I played it off just like you told me to. I know it's good money, and you know that I'd do anything for you. But we'll both be burned at the stake if we're caught. Love, Liz.
Well, does anybody read Dwarvish?
No.
Oh, I do.
You're
do you
Sen,
have
you're
something
muted.
in your throat? It's not coming through.
Your Discord's muted.
Sorry. Climbing an inferno for me, darling.
Well, our giant friend and I. Well, there's this letter is addressed to and is from a Liz. It implies there's some fixing of the lottery, and then I'll read it in its full detail. Yeah.
Whoa.
So I know that Liz is short for Elizabeth, who we've had an encounter with.
Have we?
Have
She
we?
was the receptionist at the sheriff's.
Let me clutch my pearls.
Do
Wait, hold on.
you have it to
Hold
that
on.
music?
Wait, where is it?
Yes.
Darling, I didn't even remember her name. Wow.
Aramil,
Quite
grab
good with
that
names.
forger kit and the document and the letter. We gotta go fast.
I just heard the 1960s Batman.
Can I ask a quick question because I'm confused?
Yes,
Yeah.
So were there two letters?
there were two. One was
Oh, okay.
the handwritten letter from Liz, The other one was what looks like the official lottery selection.
Okay. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Well then,
Come on, we gotta go quick.
we should be careful with what we know. Was there anything else in here we should look at before we leave?
Looking around, Wilzu, you see most of the glass mugs that were ordered were actually complete, actually sitting up here in the corner.
No, it doesn't look like anything else useful here.
Right? So just to be clear, we're presenting evidence that was locked away. And we don't know where the owner of the locked away items are.
Yes, and if we have to talk to the receptionist to get back to the sheriff, let's say, I don't know, let's say we saw another murder.
Y'all
you
just some
like me to
murdering,
say it?
seeing fools, huh?
You know, I do love to put on a show for
We should be tactful with this.
So what do you want to
Yes.
tell her then? Because she's gonna ask, "What are you here to report?" And we gotta say
That's a
something.
great impersonation.
Well, she
We
sounded
could-
like a dummy.
We could tell her that we found more information on the original murder, so we don't look like we just keep stumbling upon murders. Causing
We could just go in and draw weapons on her and say, "We know what you do."
No,
Or
the guards
did.
may intervene. Sandy's idea is genius, though.
I feel like, Sen, you're great. You have great taste, and I love your skills. But I feel like Sen is gonna go in and say, "Oh, I don't know.
There's been a
She-
murder.
There's been a murder."
Well, no. We'll go in, and I'll just say we like Sandy said. We found more info about the dagger stabbing that we reported before. And we need to talk to the
Guards,
sheriff.
arrest her. That's what she'll say.
Yeah, Sen, don't do something to get the guards pissed. I don't think she will. What do you think? I don't think she will. I think we'll be okay.
Darling, I would never. They weren't going to give us the sheriff, so I just made it to where we could see the sheriff.
Hey, Sandy, I'll bet you a silver she does something. I try to whisper.
So, let me get this straight. You get the silver if she does something, I get a silver if she doesn't?
Correct. If she says something, I get a silver. If she is calm, cool, and collected, I will give you a silver.
Okay, you got yourself a deal.
Deal. We're ready. Ready.
We're heading to the
Ready.
sheriff.
Okay.
I'll be.
Do- we got dog aggro.
Lay down. It's a bad boy.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Uh-oh. The drama. Do I even want to know? You're muted.
You're muted.
Excuse me, sorry. He was trying to chew on my dresser.
What a dickhead.
Hey.
Mind you, he tore apart my favorite sweater today.
Yeah, that wasn't good.
Obi.
I came home, he was in jail.
Oh,
Okay.
Shit.
to the
So,
sheriff.
you're leaving your the glasses there, Wilzu?
He's the only one that saw him.
Yes, absolutely.
Fuck them mugs. Okay. So you are actually not too far from town hall, actually, and so it only takes you about 5 minutes actually to head that way, as the wind still sort of just beating at your face there.
I have a silver piece like this in my just going through my fingers.
So as you approach the door this time, the guards say, "Now wait a minute. What is your business here?"
Well, we have more info on the murder we reported the other day. We wanted to tell the sheriff.
And he sort of walks up. "They ain't letting nobody in today. Some weird stuff going on.
Wait, they're not letting anyone in. Really?
This place is on lockdown." Unless you
Is
got
anyone
something really important, and I'll be the judge of that.
We do. We think
right?
we have information on the Cold Killer himself.
Right, Sin?
He sort of furrows his brow and looks down at you. Let's see something here. So looking down at you, he says, "Huh, so you think you know something about the killings that's going on then?"
Mm-hmm.
And he looks over to you, Sandy. "And you're with him?"
I kind of crack my knuckles. I am.
Oh, shit.
We need to speak to the sheriff as soon as possible.
"Well, he is quite busy, but I suppose if you got information on the cold-hearted killer, then go on in." And he kind of steps back. Let me clear this for you. And you open the door and go back here. And sitting at the desk right now is actually just another one of the guards.
Hello. Where's the receptionist lady?
Well, she didn't come in today.
Hmm.
Oh, darling, under the weather.
I wonder why she
He
didn't
just shrugs.
come in.
He says, I lost the game. I lost the bet. Now I gotta sit at this stupid desk all day."
Well, don't worry. You're not the only one that's going to lose a bet today. And I kind of look at him real.
Is the sheriff here then?
The sheriff is here. What's your business?
We have information on the Cold Heart Killer.
He stands up and puts his hands like on the desk and says, "And it's credible."
We're the ones who discovered the last murder. I'd say we've been doing some digging since then, and this is very credible and exceptionally urgent.
You could say we belong to the BAU.
The behavioral analysis unit.
I looked at Randy like,
Doesn't count.
No.
She hasn't started yelling yet.
that's fair. That's fair. Yet.
He says, "The sheriff, he's in the speaker's chambers. Go on in." And he turns around and says, "Boys, let him in." And points to the double doors directly behind him here.
And I hastily flop to the door. I'm still wearing my snowshoes. I haven't taken them off.
You just clop, 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 clop. You're like a horse.
I was ready to go, but this is more pressing, so I just kept going.
Okay, the two guards at the door actually knock on the door a couple times. It sounds like they do a very specific knock pattern together and then open the door. And it looks like the speaker and the sheriff are both in the room. The sheriff's sitting in one of the 3 chairs in the room, and then there's a bench at the southeast.
I'll
And
give
then
him both a wave.
the speaker looks at you and says, "What is the meaning of this? No one was supposed to be in here today.
Sin's our
I
leader
take-
now.
You're the same ones from yesterday."
I take a seat.
Okay.
Right, we are. We have some urgent stuff to tell you guys. I'm assuming, actually, and I'm gonna walk over to the sheriff real quick and just kind of pat his thigh and tell him to lean down to me.
He does.
Do you super trust the speaker? Is she cool?
With all of my being.
And I'll turn to the doors. Are they still open?
They are.
Do you super trust all of your guards? Because I had to do a lot of lying to get in here.
He says, or he doesn't say anything. He just looks at you and then looks up and says, "Guards, the door." And they go and close the door. So let me do that real quick.
Okay, cool. I I told them all I had some cold-hearted killer info, but I don't have any of that. I have something actually a little worse for you guys specifically, since you were near her a lot. Aramel, if you please.
And I throw out the stuff on the desk, just kind of.
The speaker looks down at everything and says, "What is this?"
Well, this.
Massive fucking problem for your town.
Well, this, and I point to the tools, can help these, and I hold up the stationery done by these people. This is how your lottery's been fixed.
She says, "So it was Elizabeth." And she looks over at the sheriff, who just sort of nods.
Do you read Dwarvish?
I do. I read many languages. One does not become the head of the council of speakers and is not well educated.
I meant no offense, and
And she looks down and reads the note and says, "So, Elizabeth and the glassblower. That's how everything was being done. And this is being done on your watch, Sheriff." And the sheriff sort of looks down and says, I'm sorry, Speaker. I have failed you. I apologize. I will make it right." And she says, "Nobody's perfect, but this is a massive problem, and it needs to be taken care of. We need to figure out where these two people went, and we need to find the cold-hearted killer and deal with him. Or her, I suppose."
we saw Bell's was ransacked, and we found this in the debris of the ransack.
So Belle's place was overturned as well. We went to Elizabeth's home when she didn't show up today, and her home was overturned as well.
Well, to me, as the BAU, it does seem like maybe they tried to create a scene, and it is all just to try and trick us into thinking, oh no, they've been stolen away, what happened? When really they've tried to escape in the night.
Sheriff, I want you to put a watch on all the gates. Keep an eye out for Belleron Steadyhand and Elizabeth. And he says, "Yes, Speaker, right away. I will do it." And turns to you all and says, "Have you found any other clues as to who could be the killer? Do you think it could be Belleron or Elizabeth?"
Well, I do know that our good friend who is recently deceased was spending more time than normal with Belron. Seems interesting to me.
Perhaps.
Was he in cahoots? Was Bell trying to save him? We don't know enough yet.
He puts his hand to his chin and says, perhaps they were just... Perhaps they have nothing to do with the cold-hearted killer. Oh, 1 second, I just got something here.
Another 500,000.
Pointer Labs, thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. Welcome to Cloak and Stagger. We now have an in-house D&D engineer on retainer. He says, perhaps these are connected in a different way.
I will say this too. What we know about the unsub. He sounded like a regular man. He was an older gentleman, not a younger guy. We did find that out. So, be it as you will, maybe like 19 and under, probably not our guy.
He says, well, I can say that Elizabeth has been here. She's always been very punctual, always here, never missed a day. So I suppose that if we are to suspect that this is one person doing all of these murders, that would eliminate her. I cannot speak for the dwarf.
Oh, yes, and I will say too, she did say it was a guy. So it's not female. The unsub is a man.
How do you know it's a man?
Because I asked Danica, and she said that it was a man speaking. I said, a man? And she said, yes, darling, it was an older gentleman, not a younger guy. I made sure to ask qualifying
Right.
questions, trying to minimum the field of who we can expect the murderer to be.
He says, all right, well, then that just puts Elizabeth in the position of interfering with the lottery. And I would assume that the dwarf, he was interfering as well.
I would suspect so, because we do know that the father was spending more time with Belran than normal.
So we know that Mr. Eagledane was the one that was supposed to be sacrificed. And the only other 2 towns that have had these exact murders also sacrifice humans. Perhaps this is Aril exacting vengeance on those who would try to cheat her then.
Via a man.
Via something, yes.
Maybe even a cult of some sort?
I suppose we can't rule that out. Either way, we'll have to investigate, but I must let the militia know to lock down the gates and not let these people escape the town.
Una pregunta, por
And he's
favor.
standing up as you're saying this.
Una
Yes.
pregunta. Do you have a bank system here?
A banking system.
Yes, the reason I ask is there's a woman named Penelope Garcia that I've heard of. She can track the comings and goings of income. Something that was said that maybe we could track. So,
No, there is no banking system here.
well, nonetheless, the full saying was the father says, "What's the meaning of this?" A low voice, a man voice then, low voice, man voice, says, "You cannot cheat death. You cannot cheat Ariel. Fate has been decided. No amount of money can change that." Which leads me to believe that he tried to pay someone so as to not be the sacrifice. So, someone has more money than they once had. Someone was trying to pay somebody off. The unsub has come into some money. So how can we track this newfound money?
I like nudge Randy like
I'm like starting to put my hand in my pocket to get a silver.
I had a silver. I give Randy a silver. I give Randy a silver. Just-
So you notice that the speaker is sort of jotting all of this down as this conversation's happening. And the sheriff responds, right, so if I'm to sort of organize my thoughts here,
Yes?
Elizabeth and Belron, they were working together to rig the lottery and probably making some sort of profit off of it. And whoever this cold-hearted killer is has come in and made sure that the person who was selected to die actually died. And now perhaps is going after those who would seek to subvert the lottery.
Could you read the letter from Elizabeth? That's what I'm a little confused on. You don't think that they were just in cahoot, like, oh, he's my friend, let's save him. What did the letter say again?
So, looking at the letter, he says, it sounds like Elizabeth and this Belron were in some sort of relationship.
But what did the letter in its entirety say?
It says, and he reads it off, Belle, they've really started increasing security around the lottery. We may need to lay low for a while. I thought the sheriff had caught me when I was in his office, but I played it off just like you told me to. I know it's good money, and you know that I'd do anything for you, but we'll both be burned at the stake if we're caught. Love, Liz. My interpretation is she was his inside woman to get her hands on the actual lottery envelope. And somehow he forged a fake one. And whoever
I see.
was actually selected paid him off.
Have you done an investigation on her residence?
We've just begun this morning. We only have 250 militia in this town, which is as many or more than any of the other towns here in Icewind Dale, but it still leaves us limited, considering we have 1,600 people to look after here.
Right.
Well, maybe if we're lucky, Ariel will kill Liz herself. Fingers crossed. She can just take care of the troublesome woman for us.
Well, I suppose what's left is to figure out the link. We know that all three towns that have had these exact murders sacrifice humans. We just have to figure out what the link is between them, whether it's a network of people or a single individual, a group, I'm not sure. But I suppose in time we will get to the bottom of it. In the meantime, we will keep an eye out for Belleron and Elizabeth. And if we find them, hopefully they can give us some answers.
Do you have any magic users amongst your group? Force them to give up their detail.
Not in the militia. The only magic users I know are in the House of the Morning Lord. And that is just a healer.
Right.
I kind of.
Well then.
I guess that's all we have. Yeah, important stuff. I'm glad you have it now.
We will dispatch someone to each gate to let them know to lock it down. And I myself will go to Elizabeth's house and see what I can find. We will also send a dispatch to Belleron's shop and see if we can uncover anything else.
A wise decision. And of course, any extra resources you have to offer us in this investigation, we will fully accept.
For example, I see that your men are wearing very warm-looking jackets. You don't by any chance have any of those to spare, do you? Say for some fine investigative journalists like ourselves.
The speaker stands up from her chair and says, We are spread extremely thin as it is. We do not have anything to spare, and we must make sure that our town militia remains prepared and strong for anything. We are the last bastion in 10 towns in case something happens to the rest of the towns, and the way everything's looking right now, we have to remain vigilant. So unfortunately, no, we do not have anything that we can offer you now. But perhaps exceptions could be made if you bring us the murderer, or even Belleron or Elizabeth.
Okay, reputation for now it is. Last out.
And the speaker sort of nods her head and says, Stay safe. And the sheriff sort of walks and says, I will lead you out. And he opens the, if I can get to the door here, there we go. Opens the door and walks back out. And you see him kind of cut off to the side. Damn it. Cindy, you're all up in my way here.
It keeps putting me back. I keep trying to walk forward, and it keeps...
Yeah, roll 20s. Roll 20s being a little bit goofy tonight. And you see him kind of go to a couple of the militia, and then walk back into a back room and disappear.
Oh. I thought he was wanting us to follow him. What a weird guy.
I think he was just intending to lead you out of the office.
Oh,
He has a town guard to look after. A militia.
So
now I believe it's time to traverse the snow.
Who knows what'll happen when we get back?
all manner of things. And that's where we're going to actually end tonight's session.
Hey.
Oh. So, another eventful day in the in the town of Bryn Shander. How do you guys feel?
Good.
I feel like a detective.
Yeah.
Well, awesome.
That stuff.
I guess that's where, we'll just go ahead and call it. I don't have any really announcements. We're going to be off tomorrow. We don't have anything going on Sundays. It's one of our off days. But on Monday, we'll be back with another session of our Shadow of the Demon Lord campaign, which if you enjoy this, you enjoy the D&D kind of tabletop games, you'll probably enjoy that as well. It's kind of a darker, demon-y, evil, Wilzu tries to murder our whole party every session type of campaign. So yeah, the tables are a little flipped. So Wilzu over here is our DM for that campaign, and we have a lot of fun with it. So make sure to join us at 8 Central on Monday for that. Outside of that, I think I'm probably going to be streaming Assassin's Creed Valhalla again on Tuesday as well. So if you're still on the fence about purchasing that game and want to see kind of what it looks like and everything, or if you're just into Let's Plays and want to watch me scream at my monitor while I play through that, you can do that as well. Outside of that, I think that's it. So I appreciate everybody for joining us tonight. Thank you so much. Also, thank you to Coriander Labs for the follow. Welcome to Cloak and Stagger. We appreciate you being with us. And if anybody else is out there and here new with us and you enjoyed the stream tonight, be sure and give us a follow. And if you want to support the channel, consider giving us a subscription. We always appreciate that too. So with that said, we're going to conclude tonight's session. Thank you all, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.